welcome to my channel, Mo Moon Tarot. My name is Mo Moon. Welcome to those of you who are subscribers. Thank you for your support. Welcome to those of you who are new viewers. It's nice to have you here. I started out this video with a short recording of the rain falling on my balcony. It's been quite an interesting day today. It's been rainy, cloudy, sunny, cloudy. So I just thought that it would be really relaxing to see some rain falling on the balcony. So that's why I started this video that way. So this is going to be a video about June 10th's first solar eclipse of 2021. So I wrote some notes for this video, and then at the end of the reading of my notes and talking about the first solar eclipse of 2021, it's a new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, and I'm going to be using my Light Seers Tarot to draw a card for each zodiac sign to kind of talk about a little bit about what this solar eclipse can how it can enlighten you, what kind of information you can glean from this new moon solar eclipse on June 10th. In the Northern Hemisphere where I live, it's June 10th. I don't know if it's going to be the same time for you, but you can look that up. But just basically, I'm going to talk about what this solar eclipse means. And I haven't memorized what it means, but I kind of know a little bit about what this could mean for us. So let me just go ahead and talk about it with you, okay? So solar eclipses in astrology always occur at the same time as a new moon, which is why this is a new moon solar eclipse on June 10th. The moon moves between the earth and the sun, casting a shadow over the light of the sun. So the solar eclipse is when you can't see the light of the sun, because the moon moves between the earth where we are standing and the sun. So we see the moon blocking the sun's light from where we're standing on the earth. It's also called a conjunction, where they meet in the sky. A solar eclipse always occurs about 2 weeks before or after a lunar eclipse. So we did just have a lunar eclipse, which is why this solar eclipse is now happening, because it says a solar eclipse always occurs about 2 weeks before or after a lunar eclipse. So let's just make this clear. We're having a solar eclipse, okay? It's not going to be a lunar eclipse June 10th. It's going to be a solar eclipse when the moon blocks the sun's light. The moon blocking out the sun's light temporarily can disconnect us from our sense of reality. And why I say this is because the sun brings us that sense of reality, and the moon blocking the sun's light can mean that we are not seeing reality for a little while. In astrology, a solar eclipse could bring a bold beginning, setting us on a new path that we hadn't imagined for ourselves. Solar eclipses might snatch away the familiar temporarily, forcing us to consider options we would never otherwise explore. Solar eclipses fall at new moons, which is what we talked about. So a ritual or intention setting could focus on helping you start anew, which is what new moons are about. New moons are about, looking over how things have been playing out for you over the past month. Or if you've never done a new intention setting before, you could be looking over your, the past year, your lifetime, and seeing what has been working for you and what hasn't, and setting new intentions with the moon, because the dark moon turns into the new moon. The dark moon is when we don't see the moon in the sky. There's no light being reflected off the surface of the moon. Some people use the two descriptions as the same thing. So some people call it the dark moon, some people call it the new moon. Technically, the dark moon is when the moon is dark, and the new moon is when we start to see a sickle of light shining off of the moon's surface. So solar eclipses fall at new moons. So a ritual or intention setting could focus on helping you start anew. So you could do a ritual for what you want to see occur for you within the next month between the new moon and the full moon. The full moon is the culmination of everything that you've been working for during the month. So when you start your intention setting on the new moon, you see how that plays out for you all throughout, the next month until the full moon. And you see what has been able to be manifested over the course of that time period between the new moon and the full moon. So eclipses and lunar nodes of astrology. Lunar nodes, the destiny points in astrology, are tied to the eclipses. The north and south node in a birth chart are determined by where the eclipses were happening when you were born. In astrology, our life purpose is encoded in the north and south nodes of the moon. The lunar nodes are directly opposite each other in a birth chart. The north node represents our karmic path and the lessons we came here to learn, or the language we are learning to speak. So how we're learning to interpret things, how we're learning to see things. And when I say the language we are learning to speak, I mean how we are learning to see life and how we are learning to communicate through what we've learned. So the north node represents our karmic path and the lessons we came here to learn, or the language we are learning to speak. And the south node represents the challenges and gifts we bring in from previous lifetimes. Therefore, our past lives and our future are wrapped up in our nodes. And if you don't know where your nodes are, you can always look up a free birth chart generator, type in your day of birth, month and year, your time of birth if you know it, and your place of birth, and they will generate a chart for you, which will tell you where your north node is and where your south node is. And according to, astrology, your north and south node are opposite each other. So during a solar eclipse, when the moon blocks the sun, the idea of our past lives and future destiny is represented by the power of the moon. The subconscious overpowering what defines ourselves, represented by the sun. So the sun represents how we define ourselves, and the moon overpowering the light of the sun brings up the subconscious. It's a good time to look within ourselves. So instead of just looking at the surface, we have this opportunity to go deep within ourselves with the moon's power, blocking out the ray of the sun, or the rays of the sun. The lunar nodes help us answer questions like, what am I supposed to do with my life? Why am I here? What's my mission? What was I in a past life? So all these questions are questions that can be asked during the new moon solar eclipse. Since this is a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Gemini, let's not forget, the idea of brainstorming, finding new ways to express ourselves in a friendly, non-threatening manner through writing, speaking, teaching, and listening skills. We open our minds to gather more information and facts from our environment because it's a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Gemini, which is where the sun is right now. Some of Gemini's lessons are learning to be comfortable with people, putting them at ease, and feeling at ease ourselves and enjoying the moment. So let's talk a little bit about Gemini. Gemini's symbol is the twins. Gemini's element is air. Gemini's zodiac quality is mutable. Gemini's ruling planet is Mercury. And Gemini's dates are May 21st to June 21st. So the sun is in the sign of Gemini from May 21st to June 21st. The idea that Gemini symbol is the twins means there's a duality. So again, when we looked at the fact that there's a new moon and the moon is blocking the light of the sun, causing that solar eclipse, there's a duality between the sun's energy and the moon's energy, and the moon blocking that sun's energy. So the idea that one of the dualities is overpowering and not the second duality, for a certain amount of time. The element is air, which is communication, thoughts, ideas. The zodiac quality of Gemini is mutable, which means that there's a strong ability to adapt and to change. And the ruling planet is Mercury, which rules communication, travel, language, speaking. So all these factors are factors that we can take into consideration as we are thinking about this new moon solar eclipse on June 10th. The sun, which will be eclipsed by the moon June 10th, 2021, represents our conscious mind. Again, the sun represents our conscious mind. The sun is our ego, our adult self, the part that censors our inner child, and that reasons out and makes us find decisions. The sun is our basic identity, the boss of our chart, our birth chart. The sun represents reason as opposed to instinct. The sun represents the here and now. So all this is being blocked by the moon. So when you think about all these things, inner child, the boss, reason, instinct, the sun represents reason as opposed to instinct. So the moon represents instinct, pardon me. So when we think that the moon, the part that represents instinct is blocking the sun, the part that represents reason, we realize that we can tap into our more primitive, primitive emotions and feelings and instincts, our instincts within ourselves. The sun represents the here and now. So if the sun represents the here and now and it's being blocked by the moon, we're thinking about the past and the future instead of the here and now. So the solar eclipse lasts as long as 7 minutes and 31 seconds at most, though most solar eclipses are usually much shorter. So it's a small amount of time that the solar eclipse is going to take place, but it's a very profound situation that's going to take place. So during the solar eclipse, during the solar eclipse by the moon, we may receive a revelation from our inner child, our subconscious inner selves, that part of ourselves that taps into imagination. And again, like I was saying, these questions that we are able to ask ourselves during this solar eclipse are, what am I supposed to do with my life? You can ask yourself, what have I been doing with my life? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? What am I here for? What am I doing here? What is my mission? What do I enjoy doing? What do I see myself, envision myself doing? What was I in a past life even? What are the things that I'm good at now? And what does that mean as far as what I could have been in a past life? If you're good at speaking, it could be that you mastered being, a brilliant orator in your past life and that you're able to do that now. But one thing that I wanted to say as well is the North Node represents what we're going towards learning and becoming. And the South Node represents gifts and challenges from previous lifetimes in the now. So when we are born, we're born with, mastery of our South Node, gifts, challenges from previous lifetimes in the now. So what we're good at now is represented by our South Node, and that's things that come easy to us. And the North Node represents what we're going towards, what we want to go towards, what we're learning, what we're becoming, what challenges us that we are going for in this life. So we want to move towards the North Node sign, whatever that sign might be for you. You want to move towards becoming more like that sign that is in the North Node for you, and moving in the South Node sign energy, but also challenging yourself with the North Node sign energy. So it really is going to, this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th, is really going to help us to do some self-reflection and to really think through what our purpose is here, what we're good at, what we want to do. A lot of self-reflection, basically. So I hope that was interesting for you to hear. Let's do some zodiac sign readings. So I'm going to hopefully draw one card only for each sign. I'm going to start with Aries and finish with Pisces. And like I said, I'm going to be using my Light Seers Tarot deck. So, Spirit, help me to tap into the energy of Aries. What is a message for Aries during this new moon solar eclipse on June 10th? How can they learn how to self-reflect and become the best version of themselves for Aries? Okay. So it is to love. Your challenge is to love, Aries. We have card number 6, the Lovers. So I do feel like Spirit is saying your challenge is to learn how to love. It's easy to hate. It's easy to dislike. It's easy to disdain. It's easy to put somebody into a category and put them in a box and put them away and say, no more, I'm done with that person. But the challenge is not only to love others, despite the fact that you may have already made up your mind about them, the challenge is also to love yourself and treat yourself the way you would want to be treated. So I do feel like the message is with the Lovers is definitely to learn how to love yourself, and learning how to love yourself also means making sure that you don't let people treat you the way you wouldn't treat others. So to respect yourself, to love yourself, but also to learn how to forgive people that you've already, maybe tapped out with, people that you've already kind of lost your patience with. Learning how to love yourself by forgiving those people and saying, I set you free with love. I set you free with forgiveness. You're no longer a part of my life, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to hold on to my angst in regards to you, or that I'm going to get bitter about this. So I do feel like that's the message for you during this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. Okay, Aries? I hope that was helpful. So let's go on to Taurus. Spirit, a message for Taurus during this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th, 2021. A message for Taurus. We have the 3 of Pentacles, so I'm feeling cooperation, collaboration, teamwork, learning how to be a bigger part of a group, learning how to work in a group setting, learning how to be an integral part of a group. So for Taurus, I see we have the 3 of Pentacles. So for you during this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th, Taurus, I'm feeling like learning how to find your place within a group, learning what your purpose is within a group setting, maybe at work or in your family, learning who you are within that group and what your meaning is within that group, understanding how maybe people see you in a work setting or in a group setting in our community, and learning that you are an integral part of that fabric. You see this fabric here is being woven by these 3 people, and there are 3 pentacles woven into the fabric. So learning how you make up a part of that fabric, like what is your purpose within that fabric? What is your calling, within that greater, collective within this world. So again, it's really learning about your place and your position, and you already have a position within this collective group, but it's like learning to understand that you have a very important purpose within this collective group. So that's what I see for you, Taurus. Okay, thank you for being here. Let's go on to Gemini. Spirit, what is Gemini's message for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th, 2021? What is Gemini's message? Gemini. We have the King of Swords, Gemini, which really is your element, because we have the King of Swords, which represents air, and Gemini, your representing element is air. So learning how to speak your truth, learning how to embrace your truth, learning how to stand up for what you represent is very important for you during this new moon solar eclipse, June 10th, because a lot of people, Gemini, can say, oh, Geminis are two-faced. Geminis are not consistent with the way they act or with the way they talk or with the way they present themselves. But it's about understanding that that is a flawed view that people have of you, and that doesn't mean that that is who you are. It's really about the fact that you can wear several hats. You can wear two hats at the same time. You can see things from two different, viewpoints, standpoints. And so you understand people a lot better, Gemini. And so I think it's just really standing in your power, standing in that understanding with the King of Swords, Gemini, that you really have a gift when it comes to understanding people and when it comes to understanding their viewpoints or their standpoints or, what they're saying. And, it doesn't mean that you're a hypocrite if you see things from two sides of the coin. A coin has two sides, but it's still one coin, and so even though each side says something different, it's also speaking to that same idea of the coin being of value. And so I think what this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini for you is saying is really learn how to stand in your power, learn how to embrace your truth and the truth of who you are and your identity. So that's what I see for you, Gemini. Okay, thanks for being here. Let's go on to Cancer. Cancer for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th. What is the message? Cancer, the crab. Okay. Too many cards. I need one card. Cancer. Cancer. Okay. Wow, so we have the Three of Pentacles, just like we had for Taurus. So Cancer, you have the Three of Pentacles. So for you as well, it's going to be about your purpose within a group, your purpose within a community, within a collective whole. What are you good at? Embracing what you're good at, embracing what, is valuable that you do for other people, and really embracing yourself, feeling like you're a part of a community, like you're a part of a greater purpose, understanding your need within a greater community. It's just like this fabric has 3 pentacles woven into it, and each pentacle in the fabric is important for that fabric to look the way it looks. So for the purpose that fabric has, to the viewer. So you, Cancer, have a purpose within a greater, environment, within a family, within a work setting, within a friend community group. And that purpose is important, and it's important for you, Cancer, to understand your value within a group of people, to understand that your purpose cannot be fulfilled by anyone else, but that your purpose is unique to you, and that your purpose has unique value, more so than, you think, more than you think. So it's really about understanding your value within a group, and understanding though, even though you might look at other people and say, oh wow, they're so good at what they do and I wish I could do that, or I wish I was better at this like this person was, that other people might be looking at you and feeling the same way about you that you feel about them, and understanding that everyone is unique and everyone has their own gifts, and embracing your gifts. Okay, that's what I see for you, Cancer. Okay, so let's go on to Leo. Leo, for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th. Leo. Justice. So Leo, we have the Justice card here, card number 11 in this deck. So for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th, Leo, we have the balances. We have the scales of justice. Understanding what is fair for you in life. Seeking justice for the injustices that have been done to you. Leo, you don't deserve to be hurt. Nobody deserves to be hurt. And nobody needs to look at their own situation of hurt and say, oh, I deserved that. Because nobody deserves to be hurt. There is no such thing as punishment for an action that is wrong when there is no black and white idea of what is wrong and what is right. And yet with the Justice card, we feel like there has to be that deviation between right and wrong, because how can justice be served without that right and wrong? And I think this is a sort of conflict that you're having within yourself, Leo, during this new moon solar eclipse, is like, what is my idea of wrong? What is my idea of right? And how do I see the world through that justice system? So I think, Leo, for you during this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, Leo, you're looking at your own moral compass, and how you view the world, and how you view certain injustices that have been done to you, and how you're healing from those injustices, and how, as you heal from those injustices or from those hurts that have been done to you, Leo, you are creating your outlook on life and creating your moral standing. So you're really doing a lot of inner work with this Justice card, Leo, during this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th. So it's important to do that work, and it's important to do that healing, and it's important to gauge where you stand. And I think you're doing a lot of important work for yourself during this new moon solar eclipse, Leo. So I hope that was helpful for you, Leo. Thank you for being here. Let's go on to Virgo. Virgo, during this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10. Virgo. What is Virgo's message? Virgo, we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is a perfect card for you because you are an earth sign, and I do feel like you're really stepping into that grandeur during this new moon solar eclipse, Virgo. I feel like you're stepping into your regal motherhood. Even if you're not a mother, you're just stepping into that queen stance, that queen place of being, really feeling proud of yourself, really feeling whole, really feeling like you're standing in your power, like you're working in your power, you're working with your strength, understanding who you are, understanding your worth, your value, your purpose. I do feel like during this new moon solar eclipse, Virgo, instead of breaking down certain belief systems, you're affirming to yourself what you believe. With this Queen of Pentacles, you're affirming to yourself that you are happy where you stand. You're really finding that where you are at this point in time with this new moon solar eclipse, you're not feeling out of your power. You're actually feeling empowered. You're feeling more empowered with this new moon solar eclipse. That's what I see for you, Virgo, with this Queen of Pentacles card. That's your message. So thank you for being here, Virgo. Let's go on to Libra. What is Libra's message for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini? June 10, 2021 for Libra. Libra. So we have card number 12, the Hanged Man. Almost like you're at a standstill during this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. Libra. You're almost at a standstill. You're like, it's like you're at a crossroads and you're taking the time to gauge the balance within yourself. You're allowing yourself to feel both comfort and discomfort so that you can understand what your destiny is. You know, what your chosen path is, what your next step will be. So I do feel like there's a lot of self-reflection for you, Libra, during this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini with the Hanged Man. That's your message, okay, Libra? Thank you. Next we go to Scorpio. So thank you for being here, Libra. Let's go to Scorpio. What is Scorpio's new moon solar eclipse in Gemini message? Scorpio. For Scorpio, we have card number 2 of the major arcana, the High Priestess. So like Scorpio, a water sign, very mysterious, very deep and reflective, very dark but enticing, very drawing your attention in. I do feel like Scorpio has that power to really draw your attention in and then like move when it's necessary to move. Really feeling the intuition, feeling the energy. Scorpio is a really dark sign. Scorpio is really like the deeper waters that you can't see what's in them, like the deep waters. And so you have the High Priestess, Scorpio, for your new moon solar eclipse in Gemini card, the High Priestess. So I do feel like with the High Priestess being ruled by the moon, and the moon shining in the darkest of nights, and the moon overpowering the sun during this solar eclipse, with the High Priestess, I feel like you're going to get a lot of messages in Scorpio. You're going to get a lot of intuitive downloads during this new moon solar eclipse on June 10th. You're going to really get a lot of information from your High Priestess within yourself, from that feminine power of the moon. I feel like there's going to be a lot of mysteries revealed to you, maybe when it comes to your purpose or what your calling is or what your past lives have been. I feel like you can get a lot of information with this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, Scorpio. So make sure that you're open to the messages that you are going to receive with the High Priestess card, and with like the knowledge that valuable knowledge, that mystical knowledge, that those hidden mysteries that are coming in, that you're going to be receiving as a download, Scorpio. So that's your message, okay, for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, Scorpio. Thanks for being here. Let's go on to Sagittarius. What is Sagittarius's new moon solar eclipse in Gemini message? Sagittarius. 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 We have the Four of Wands, Sagittarius. I feel the power of celebration for you, Sagittarius, during this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. You know, there's a celebration for how far you've come. There's a celebration for all you've done for yourself, all you've accomplished. There's like an understanding that you have brought yourself to this point in your life and that you deserve to celebrate where you are. You're not questioning your future so much as you're living in the present, and that present celebration brings you into the future. So it's like you're moving into your future self with this joy, this abundance, this gratitude for your life, with the Four of Wands, Sagittarius. I do feel like this new moon solar eclipse is enlightening your mood, is not bringing any sense of fear or worry or uncertainty, but more so bringing an understanding that every moment that you've lived has been lived on purpose and for a purpose, and that every step that you've taken until this point has been divinely guided, divinely inspired, divinely led. So you're really stepping into the present power of who you are and embracing your past, present, and future, and just celebrating. I do feel like that's what this card, the Four of Wands, is saying for you, Sagittarius, for the new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th. So thank you for being here, Sagittarius. Let's go on to Capricorn. Capricorn, new moon solar eclipse in Gemini message. We have the Four of Cups for you, Capricorn. The Four of Cups. So for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini for you, Capricorn, I'm feeling a lot of self-reflection for you, but also like a lot of color in your life, a lot of music, a lot of downloads, a lot of sound healing. I do feel like music is going to be a big part of your life, you know, especially with this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. I feel like music is your healing gift, your healing power, your healing tool. You may be embracing some sort of instrument into your life. It could be as simple as a rattle, a singing bowl, a flute, a rain stick. I feel like it could be even more complicated, like learning how to play the guitar or the violin, or maybe even making new playlists, or inquiring into new sorts of music, maybe solfeggio frequencies, to heal your chakras, Capricorn. But I do see with the Four of Cups, like there's a lot of music, there's a lot of light, there's a lot of creative energy, maybe even learning how to use your creative abilities to do some artwork or to write some poetry, or like I said, to play an instrument, maybe being introduced to a new band or a new group, or some sort of new music that inspires you, makes you think, makes you receive those downloads from the divine, and really finding your purpose and finding that healing power within creative drive, creative music, creative ability, creative inspiration. So I do feel like that's your message for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, Capricorn, for the Four of Cups. Thank you for being here. Let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius, for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th. What is Aquarius's message? Please, Spirit, Aquarius's message. Aquarius. Aquarius, we have the Magician, card number 1 of the major arcana. There is some darkness with this Magician card, Aquarius, and it's very apropos for this solar eclipse, this blocking of the sun's rays by the moon. A lot of magic is done in the dark. There can be magic done in the light as well. But with this solar eclipse, we're talking about the darkness, Aquarius, and we're talking about the magician. If you can see, this magician has got a hood over his head or her head, looking down, very mysterious, very in his element, very in his power, very focused. And so I do feel like this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini for you, Aquarius, is bringing in a focus to try to understand yourself better, try to embrace your past, present, and future as if it's all one moment. You know, like the magician doesn't think about the past or the future. The magician just lives in the present and focuses on manifesting what is needed in the present, using the tools that the magician has within his grasp, within his reach, within her or his reach, and really just working on the magic of the present. And so what does this mean for the new moon solar eclipse in Gemini for you, Aquarius? I think it means that you do want a lot of answers, Aquarius, and the answers will come in time. But I think that this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini is not really bringing you answers as much as it's just bringing you into your power and bringing you into your element of abundance, manifestation, power, and magic. Just bringing that knowledge to you that this is who you are. You are that magician. You embody that power of the magician and that power to be able to create the life you want. So I do feel like that's your message, Aquarius, for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th, with the Magician card, Aquarius. Thank you for being here. So let's go on to Pisces. 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 What is Pisces' message, Spirit, for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th? What is Pisces' message? Pisces, Pisces. Pisces. I want a message for Pisces. Pisces, we have the Four of Swords. I'm feeling a lot of rest for you, Pisces. Your life has been a whirlwind up until this point, and I feel like with the Four of Swords being your card for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, Pisces, I feel a lot of rest. I feel a lot of sense of home, a lot of sense of just being in that position of warmth, of solitude, of strength, but of rest, really coming back to yourself with the Four of Swords, Pisces, for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. You know, the Four of Swords is the element of the mind. And this is saying your mind is being put at rest during this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. You're not asking yourself a lot of questions, Pisces, with this Four of Swords. You're really just feeling like, I've done a lot of work. I'm just going to enjoy this moment to just rest, relax, be rejuvenated, recharge. There is time for questions. There's time for answers. There's time for searching, but the time is not now. I'm going to allow this new moon solar eclipse to teach me how to just be still, listen, be at peace, rest, recharge, relax, and find my footing again when it's time. But to take this time to really feel at home where I am, to really feel the nest, so to speak. We have a nest in this card. To really feel like where I'm laying my roots, I can call home. Really finding that footing, really being able to ground your roots into the earth, Pisces, and really feel like I'm home now, you know. I'm home now. No matter where I am, I'm at home in my body. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of peace in your body as well, Pisces. You're going to feel like, I've struggled a lot. There's still a lot of struggling, but I'm forgetting it for now. There's still a lot of work to be done, but it's not going to be a priority for me right now. Right now, I just want to take this time to rest, recharge, rejuvenate. So I do feel like that's your message, Pisces, for this new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, June 10th. Thanks for being here. So thanks for being here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please remember to do that before you leave and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss when I upload a new video. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And again, my name is Mo Moon. You're on my channel here on YouTube, Mo Moon Tarot. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.